Hello everybody, what is going on? Welcome to the channel. As you can see, this is ZONTES 703F, but this is the latest iteration of this bike, which means that this time we have, let me show you. Can you guess? We have ride-by-wire throttle. So this is by far the most outstanding upgrade on this bike. Not only do we have this ride-by-wire throttle, we also have bi-directional quick shifter. We have 5 power modes. Think about that. 6-axis IMU. We have cruise control, heated seat, heated grips, Michelin tires, Brembo brakes, Marzocchi fully adjustable suspension, an aluminum frame. The carb weight of this bike is 217 kilograms, so it's the lightest in the class. This bike also comes equipped with 3 cases, and with 3 cases it's gonna be 240 kilograms or something. This is an absolutely amazing machine. However, there are a few caveats. There are a few things I don't like. The first thing is that 2026 model, this bike has a very low seat. It's only 810 millimeters, which is very low as for an adventure bike. Other than the seat height, suspension travel is also different. This time it's only 17 inches, which means that our ground clearance is only 170 millimeters. So this bike is going to be less capable in terms of off-road riding. One more thing to say is that this time we have a whole bunch of new buttons. We have this new trigger. It's pretty intuitive, but I wouldn't say that this is the best solution. This trigger is still not as intuitive as I wish it to be. I still don't really understand how it works, but there's one good thing. Over here, dudes, we have a mode button. So you press it like this and you change the mode. We have 5 modes, as I've said: street, sport, rain, off-road, and rider mode. So you can adjust it the way you like. Dude, I'm so stupid. P is power, I guess. P is power. Well, if it's power, why in a street mode P is on 3? EB is engine braking, I guess. The higher P, the less power we have, I guess. And engine braking is supposed to work the same way. In rider's mode, you can adjust absolutely everything, which is just amazing. I'll try to show you how it works. So this is street mode, this is rain mode, this is off-road mode. By the way, you see P is at 1, EB supposed to be engine braking, and traction control is pretty obvious, right? So P is power. If power is at 1, this means that this is the most powerful mode. The higher the number, the less powerful it is. If the engine braking is at 3, it means that engine braking is not very strong. So this is apparently how it works. Long press like this. Yeah, and you see, you can access the power, you can tweak it the way you like. So right now the power is at 4, which means that this is the least powerful mode. Then engine braking, you can also change, I guess. I don't know how to do it. Well, yeah, it's not as intuitive. You have to spend some time in order to understand how it works, but overall I really like the way it looks. I really like the way it feels. We have those beautiful levers which are also adjustable. It's time for me to hop on the bike. I'm very excited. This is my first time ever. By the way, I got to the place by my ZONTES 703R. I'll tell you guys that this bike feels pretty heavy, much heavier than my ZONTES. Alright guys, are you ready? We can ride for like 5 minutes. Boom. First gear, we'll keep it in sport this time. Let's go. Alright, the clutch engage is pretty early, by the way, much earlier than my ZONTES. Is it sport? Well, I can tell you that the early bottom and torque is much smoother than on my ZONTES. It's not as jerky. Not that my ZONTES is jerky, but it's smoother than this. Alright, let's check brakes. Shoot, it's so soft. Oh my god, this suspension is crazy soft. The suspension on the first ZONTES 703F was very soft, but this time it feels even softer. I was riding for like 30 seconds, but I can still say that the suspension is very plush, very soft, but I would say that it would not be as suitable for off-road riding, given that our suspension travel is reduced. I feel like it's easy to bottom out your suspension just because it's so soft and it's not as long. Alright guys, let's turn here and let's see how it performs. Alright, so sports mode feels pretty manageable, not as jerky as before. Oh yeah, we have the rev limiter as always, because this is a brand new bike. Well guys, it's quite agile for an adventure bike, that's for sure. Alright, let's stop and let this lady pass. Well, if you stop, it doesn't necessarily mean that somebody else is going to, so we have to be vigilant. Alright guys. Ooh, it's pretty torquey actually. So it's a little smoother than before. It's a little smoother than before, and yet this bike is punchy, guys, so it's a little bit more manageable. Actually, I was very excited about this ride-by-wire because on CF Moto and K800, our ride-by-wire system was a little compromised. It was smooth and nice. However, when you were trying to launch the bike aggressively, it wasn't hinged. The bike was doing power wheelies absolutely uncontrollably, and it was impossible to control the bike, and my acceleration was super bad. And this is why most of those Chinese bikes, they still have a conventional throttle, cable throttle, and I'm very curious whether this ride-by-wire is going to be better. Alright guys, listen, let's change the mode. Street mode. Let's see how our street mode feels. So right now traction control is 5. Holy shoot, 5. EB is 2, whatever it means. ABS is on. Alright guys, I'm very excited. By the way, we have only 8 kilometers on the odometer, so this is a brand new bike. Oh yeah, street mode feels much smoother, much smoother. Well, we have some bumpy terrain over here, and I can tell that the suspension feels amazing. Boom, really good. Yeah guys, street mode feels so good. Oh, and I forgot that we have a bi-directional quick shifter. Brakes are bitey. Alright guys, street mode feels amazing. Let's change to the rain mode. Okay, rain mode supposed to be the most beginner friendly. We'll see how it feels guys, but so far so good. I really like this ride-by-wire. I was expecting this bike to be a little bit less manageable, but so far so good. Yeah guys, this suspension is very soft. It swallows the bumps really good, and I can tell you that it doesn't feel like you're gonna bottom out your suspension anytime soon. Yo bro, it's as if you're riding a ship. Oh yeah, rain mode feels so smooth. Yeah guys, if you are a beginner, this rain mode is gonna be plush, nice, not scary at all. Oh yeah, so smooth. Acceleration and deceleration feels absolutely amazing. I would even give it to my girlfriend, honestly speaking. Yeah guys, so this is the most unique feature of ride-by-wire. Those power modes, they work. They freaking work. And this rain mode feels so manageable. Boom! Bad bump feels abso-freaking-lutely awesome. Yo guys, so good. It's so nice and plush. Brakes are bitey. ABS is not intrusive at all. Yo, let's get on the curb. What do you think? Boom. Yeah, like freaking nothing, dude. Like nothing. What's going on? Whatever. Quick shifter is amazing. Oh, and we can downshift without a clutch lever, so quick shifter up and down works well. Yeah guys, I like it. Wait a second, I want to change the mode again. What else do we have? Okay, let's find neutral, no problem. Alright, so what else do we have? We have, okay, off-road mode. First gear, let's go. Well, off-road, Ooh, yo, bro, yeah. Off-road gives you a little bit more punch. Alright, so just now traction control has stopped us from going crazy, from sliding around, and it's freaking fun. Yeah, guys, off-road feels pretty punchy, but less punchy than sports mode. But I really like that every single mode feels different. Again, today, as you can see, I ride in the city, so I cannot explore the off-road capabilities of this machine. But I can tell you that those modes, they feel different. Alright, guys, since we cannot get off-road, let me see what else can we have. Alright, we have rider's mode. Can we actually... Okay, so you see over here, we can adjust everything. Okay, P. What is P, guys? Tell me if you know. EB, have no idea. Traction control. ABS, you can turn it off. Okay, rear ABS. Actually, see, we have crazy levels of adjustability, which is super fun. Alright, first gear. Let's go. Let's try to make a U-turn here. Oh, it's really easy to ride. You know what? Let's go back to our sports mode. Ready? Alright, there's a kid. Okay, hold on. Okay, this is supposed to be... dude, I'm so stupid. P is power. EB is engine braking, I guess. The higher P, the less power we have. And engine braking is supposed to work the same way. In off-road mode, our power is on 1, which is the most powerful mode. And engine braking is on 3. So it's actually suitable for wheelies, I guess. Alright, let's try to keep it in rider's mode. This mode's supposed to be the most powerful. Alright, dudes, I'm a little scared. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. You know, guys, when you accelerate on this bike, you feel the acceleration, obviously, and it's super pleasant. But on top of that, the nose of the bike goes up, and then when you brake, it goes down. So it's like a seesaw. And honestly speaking, I like it, but it might be a little too soft for my liking, if I'm being completely honest with you. Alright, let's try to turn here and we'll go back. Oh shoot. Do I feel this reduction in suspension travel? Not really. The bike is actually softer than before, but dude, I freaking like it, and acceleration is amazing. Even though we have this rev limiter, but it's so freaking fun. And guys, it's quite flickable for what it is. I like it a lot. Oh yo, the acceleration is amazing. Quick shifter works so well. Let's try to downshift. No problem. Let's try to upshift. No problem. Let's turn here. By the way, guys, this time our red line is at about 8,000 RPM, so you can rev it up more than my ZONTES during this braking period. So it's pretty fun. Oh, it's enough to feel the acceleration, my dudes, and the acceleration is fun. By the way, the official acceleration on this bad boy is 3.2 seconds, which is crazy for an adventure bike. And given that we have everything you can imagine, heated seat, heated grips, 5 freaking levels of adjustability in terms of power mode. You can adjust absolutely everything on this bike, and it's only 43,000 RMB. Again, if I could change one thing on this bike, probably I would make the suspension a little bit stiffer, but again, it's fully adjustable. So if you don't like something, you can still tweak a few things, but yeah, I feel like inherently this suspension is just on the softer side of the spectrum, which would be amazing for a city. But if you plan to bring your bike over to some, I don't know, off-road terrains, probably it wouldn't be as capable. But dudes, come on, this is not an off-road bike. Let's not trick anybody, right? This is an amazing touring machine with pretty cool off-road capabilities. Alright, dudes, listen, let's just try to make a U-turn and we'll go back, because the guy told me that I can ride no more than a few minutes, and I already was riding for 10. Well, you have to get used to that, dude. Alright, guys. Shoot, so powerful. Alright, let's try to see how maneuverable we are. Let's try to make a U-turn. Ready? Yup. Yeah, good job. I didn't touch the ground. That's nice. Yeah, guys. Slow speed maneuverability is cool. the power is overwhelming, and honestly speaking, this throttle feels amazing. It feels better than on NK800, which had traction control and anti-wheelies, because the power is very significant and yet pretty manageable even in the most powerful mode. So the bike doesn't do stupid power wheelies if you don't want to, which is cool. I really want to get a hold of the same bike once the full power is available. Let's try to find neutral. Okay, second gear, neutral. All right, boom, boom. Ooh, yo, huge. By the way, it looks to me as if the dash is also new. Yeah, guys, what can I say? This bike is better than I expected. The first time I rode 703 F, it was over a year ago. I wasn't very impressed. The bike was jerky and fast. It was also very soft, but I didn't like it as much. I don't know why. This time, when I ride this bike, even though I didn't expect it to be as fun, but this throttle feels amazing. I thought that this throttle is gonna be a little bit unhinged. My greatest concern was that it's gonna do some power wheelies, so the power is gonna be smooth or overwhelming. But now, after I rode this bike for 10 minutes, I can tell you that the throttle is an absolutely amazing thing on this bike. What a throttle! What a bike. Those new buttons, they're not actually very intuitive. Let me show you how it works. For example, you press this button, settings, nothing happens. So in order to access anything on this bike, you have to press this trigger like this. I press the trigger, now you can access the menu. Now you can just move it left, right. This is our settings. You press on the trigger, now you can access the settings. So we have bike information over here, motorcycle information, ride control, display. Well, and then let's say you want to access this display thing over here. You press, nothing happens, but I feel like you need to press here. Or maybe not. Shoot, I don't know how it works, bro. So those buttons, they're not very intuitive. But again, yeah, you see quick shift to rear ABS. It's cool that you can turn it off, by the way. Yeah, guys, so the buttons are cool, but you have to get accustomed to it. Like, I don't want to spend 20 minutes to understand how it works. We have those beautiful indicators over here, so if there's a vehicle in your blind spot, you can check it over here. The bike feels agile. The bike feels crazy fast. The official acceleration, as I've mentioned, is 3.28 seconds. And the top speed is gonna be at about 200 kilometers per hour. By the way, let me check our sprocket. Ooh, check this out, guys. So it's 46 tooth rear sprocket. I would remind you that on 703 double R and single R we have a small sprocket which has only 42 teeth. So this bike is going to be punchier, torqueier, but we have a little less horsepower. So it has 97 horsepower and 76 Newton meters of torque. Yeah, dude, I love this bike a lot. Right now, I'm definitely waiting for 703 double R and single R with the same ride-by-wire throttle. I'm really excited at this point. If you're just as excited as me, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, write down a comment, tell me what you think about this machine in the comment section below. I'm going to read all your comments. With that being said, it's time for me to say goodbye to this beautiful ZONTES 703F, and it's time for me to say goodbye to you guys. Stay safe, and I'm gonna see you in my next videos. Bye bye, everybody. Take care.